who say their baby monitor was actually hacked. They say they heard a strange voice saying horrifying things to their 2-year-old coming from the bedroom. How terrifying. Aditi Roy has their story.
They are supposed to keep your baby safe by letting you watch and listen to your child. But baby monitors themselves can be susceptible to misuse, and the wrong set of eyes can end up watching your child.
Greetings, citizens of the Western world. We are anonymous. We have a message for you. When you were a child, were you curious? Did you have a wonder for the world? Did you ever ask your parents why the sky is blue? You likely did. Then you went to school. Very quickly you hated learning. This is because our school systems are not designed to make smart people.
What if I told you that every single day kids go to school, they become less intelligent? Now, how could that be possible? When kids go to school, they learn things, right? And they accumulate more knowledge. So if anything, they should be getting smarter. How could they possibly be getting less intelligent? What am I talking about? Well, I do hope to illustrate that to you today. Before I turned 14, I was a kid that did not know what he wanted in life. So usually when you go up to a 5 or a 6-year-old and you ask him, what do you want to be when you grow up? He'll say an astronaut or a businessman. I wanted to be a professional Call of Duty player. And since I had no idea about what I wanted to be when I grew up, I just listened to my parents almost 100% of the time. I trusted that they knew what was best for me. My parents wanted out of me what any typical parent would want out of their child. So go to school, keep up your grades, get out and exercise once every few years. And I was trying to do everything they asked of me, except the problem was, I wasn't even that good at school. I was terrible at science, couldn't write a 5-paragraph essay if my life had depended on it. And to this day, I still think I'm the only Asian kid in the world that doesn't understand math. I really do. But when I turned 14, that all changed. And I was no longer this hot air balloon floating around in space. I was now like a supersonic jet flying towards my destination at like 50,000 miles an hour, or however fast those things go. And this change all started when I received an envelope in the mail. It was an invitation, not to a birthday party, I didn't get any of those, not to a playground, but to a business plan competition down in Boston. And I was curious. I was just so curious that I had to go. And the program director explained to us that over 5 months, we would form a team, develop a business idea, and present this idea to a panel of judges who would be judging us on, how good our suits are and how good our business ideas were. And long story short, over that 5 months, I formed a team, developed an idea, and we actually ended up winning that competition and taking home a check. And that one event sparked my interest for going to more and more of these competitions. And over the next 2 years of my life, I actually went to dozens and dozens of these competitions, and I was winning almost all of them. And I realized that I liked going to them so much, not just because I liked winning them, but also because I had an unrealized passion. And that was a passion for creating things. Because the one thing that my team would do differently from our other competitors every single time was that while everyone would go up and present their idea and their PowerPoint, we would go to Home Depot, buy supplies, and actually build the idea we were talking about.
It is for making loyal workers. Good students end up working for C students. People who put hard work in early are forced into a life of hard work that they hate to pay the bills. Why do you think that the children of the elite don't go to public schools? The elite know what they're doing. You learn unnecessary things that you don't need. Then when you are an adult you begin to vote. But now you don't want to learn, so you just accept what your parents tell you as your opinion rather than learning yourself. The politics of today are stupid and need to be ignored.
The story starts with this rocky-looking thing, which is actually a snapshot of 1994. It's the distribution of political views. Here, at the highest middle point, we see that 49% of Americans held mixed political views. Now, forward we go to 2014, where that middle of mixed views has shrunk, and the number of steadfast liberals and conservatives has increased.
The left create issues that do not matter. They act as if inequality in this country still exists rather than focusing on the other injustices. The right are simply drones of the government that don't realize it. This creates an infinite battle of ideals that need not exist. Both sides never have an open mind, so we are at a stalemate. This pointless political war blinds you from the truth of what is happening in the background. The terrorist attacks that we face are being used by our government to have an excuse to watch us, to take away our right to privacy, and we accept it. Thomas Hobbes, who you probably don't know, said that people create a social contract where people give up their individual freedom for security. The government continues to give us more reasons to want to give up freedom. They promise us security in this time of need, but the time of need never ends. This is putting us on the path to fascism. The government has started to have camps for Mexican immigrants. Is this not something Hitler did? And what is stopping the government from going down this road further? They already have. Fascism is when the state controls every aspect of a citizen's life. Now think about it. You go to school. They teach according to a strict curriculum that is state-run and prepare you for state-run tests. You are told that after school and college, you have to enter the workforce, which most people do. And during this you subscribe to political ideology that is part of the government and you ignore all of the other parties outside the government. Then you go to fight in the never-ending war for your political party as the government goes ahead and does what they want. They watch you, they listen to you, and they don't care about you. To them you are mindless slaves who only exist to work to fuel them. If one of the bottom 99 learns something they won't allow, that person will have a heart attack caused by a weapon the government possesses.
Also, I had to find, one time they wanted me to find out if there was such a thing as a poison that was undetectable, especially one that seemed to mimic a heart attack, that would kill someone, but it would appear that they had a heart attack. I did find such a thing.
Does this pistol fire the dart?
Yes, it does, Mr. Chairman, and a special one was developed which potentially would be able to enter the target without perception.
The poison was frozen into some sort of dart, and then it was shot at very high speed into the person, so when it reached the person it would melt inside them, and the only thing would be like one little tiny red dot on their body, which was hard to detect. There wouldn't be a needle left or anything like that in the person.
Have you brought with you some of those devices which would have enabled the CIA to use this poison for?
We have indeed.
For killing people?
The round thing at the top is obviously the sight. It works by electricity. There's a battery in the handle, and it fires a small dart.
And the dart itself, when it strikes the target, does the target know that he's been hit and about to die?
A special one was developed which potentially would be able to enter the target without perception.
As a murder instrument, that's about as efficient as you can get, isn't it?
It is a weapon, a very serious weapon.
But also the toxin itself would not appear in the autopsy?
Yes, so that there was no way of perceiving that the target was hit.
You may have been told that your government was designed to not allow tyranny because of the 3 branches of government. This is true assuming that the people in each branch aren't working together. However, in this case the branches are working together and only pretend that they have issues with each other sometimes. The elite control the government and they of course work together. And this will never change. You need to be rich to have a campaign in this country. So, citizens of the Western world, now you know. You are living in a secretly totalitarian government that is exploiting you and can never be replaced by normal means. The elite are the elite and every candidate is elite. The only way to stop this is by waking up. Read online articles. Don't believe everything the news is telling you. And don't lose a love of learning. Be sure to take time to make your life enjoyable. People who call you lazy are just drones. Stay knowledgeable and spread the word. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.
We are anonymous.